Alright, so now we're going to be adding a few more things to our terrain scene here. We're going to be adding a skybox, we're going to be adding some water, and we're also going to be adding some fog. So first we need to import a few packages. So let's go to Assets, Import Package, and let's click on Skyboxes first. And click on Import. Alright, let's go ahead and go back up to Assets, Import Package, and we're going to select our water. Click Import. Alright, once that's done, let's go to our render settings. Let's go to Edit, Render Settings. Now in the render settings, we can add our fog. We can also change our ambient lighting in here. So let's first take a look at fog. Go ahead and select this first check. And you can see that it blankets our entire terrain in a fog-like substance. So if you want to change the fog color, you can just click right here and change it to whatever you want. You can even make it a different color than regular fog. I'm going to go ahead and bring mine down to a grayish color. Alright, and then we have our fog mode. You can take a look at either one of these. These basically determine the amount of fall off they have. If you check linear, you can see that it gives us more of a soft effect. It's a little bit more linear as far as how the fog basically fades away into the background. If you pick exponential, you can see it gets a little bit darker, and same thing with exponential 2. Now, to change the fog density, all you have to do is type in a number here, but if you're using the exponential ones, a very small number will actually mean a very big change to our fog in here. So we change it to say 0.2, you can see that it got much darker. Now if you're using linear, there's not much that will be changed by adjusting the fog density. It'll basically stay the way it is. So I'm going to go ahead and select exponential. I'm going to go ahead and change this to 0.01. Press enter. So that's pretty good right there. Alright, and then we're going to go down to ambient lighting. Now, if you select this little icon right here, the little light icon, this will toggle our built-in lighting in the scene window. So we click this, this will actually show us what the actual lighting looks like in our game. Now, if we go to our main camera, you can see what it looks like. It looks pretty dark. So I'm going to go ahead and change the view here. And with my camera selected, I'm going to go ahead and go up to Game Object, Align with View. And now we can see what it actually looks like in our camera preview. So if I select this light on, you can see it gets a little bit lighter. And if I turn it back off, you can see that it basically reverts back to the normal lighting. So let's go back up to our render settings. And we can change the ambient lighting in here. So we can bring it up. You can see it starts getting brighter. You can also change the ambient lighting to a different color as well. But I'm going to go ahead and leave it about halfway down. Alright, and then finally we have our skybox material. So this looks like a pretty dark scene. So let's start off with a starry night skybox. So go ahead and click on this little icon right here which says material. And we're going to pick this moonshine skybox. Double click it. And now if we look up, we can see our skybox material. You can see the stars and the clouds. So now for this type of climate, it would probably be best to use a different skybox. So I'm going to go ahead and change it. I'd use a Sunny 3 skybox would be good. Double click it, and there we go. We have a much better looking skybox. But the fog doesn't fit in, so I'm going to go ahead and deselect it. But that's how you add fog, and that's how you change the ambient lighting. That's also where you will change the skybox materials. So now we have a nice looking tropical island here. So we need to add some water. So I created a small pit over here. You can kind of see the outline of it. So we're going to fill it with some water. So with your water basic package, go ahead and open it up. And you're going to drag in the Daylight Simple Water. So go ahead and drag it and drop it in here. And just use the scale tool to make it bigger. And then move it up a bit. And there we go. There's our simple water. So let's take a look at it. I'm going to zoom in as much as I can. Alright, so that is the texture of our water. It's basically a bump map attached to it. Now if we move our camera to focus in on the water, and press play, you can see it's basically just two different types of textures being animated. That's all it really is. So you click on Daylight Simple Water, you can take a look at what it actually has in it. We have a reflective color cube, a normal map, and we have a speed right here attached to a fallback texture. And so it's basically just being animated by a script. Click play. But there's not really much to it. It's just basically a plane with animated textures on top of it. Now the nighttime simple water is pretty much the same thing as well. So I'm going to go ahead and delete the daylight simple water and select the nighttime simple water and scale it up once again. And if you take a good look at it, it's pretty much the same thing, except it's a darker looking material. So this would be good for a nighttime water effect. So that is the basics of using water, how to add fog, how to add a skybox, and how to change your ambient light settings.